I don't know what you had in mind, but here we stand on opposing sides. Let's go to war. Let's go to war!
What's going on, YouTube comic community? It's Matt, aka Thanatos, and I am coming to you today with a pretty long, I don't know, I guess my last video was what, a week ago? I've been going through all my comic books that I've gotten lately, and I've noticed I haven't shown a lot. I've been taking a lot more pictures on Instagram, but haven't really made a video in a little bit. So I head to Florida early next week for reserve duty, so I'm going to try to knock some of these out here in a little bit. So let's get to it. Coffee. It's 11 o'clock in the morning, so coffee with some Jameson in it. So cheers. Ooh, got a little kick to it. Alright, so these videos today are going to be, or these comics today are ones I picked up over the past few weeks. You'll notice I've got a couple that were from New Comic Book Wednesday like a few weeks ago. And I've got quite a lot today, so I'm going to just kind of knock them out. I also have a Funko Pop Grail that I got. I didn't know that was a real thing where Funko Pops were really collectible. I have a couple hanging around. Harry Potter, Rick and Morty, and then I have some Green Lantern ones that I have open. And I've been looking for a Sinestro one forever. And it turns out, because it's, I don't know, it was from San Diego Comic-Con or something back in like 2011 when the movie came out. They're apparently really hard to find, and they're really expensive. So I'll show you that in a little bit. Anyway, we'll start out with some of the New Comic Book Day books that I picked up a few weeks ago. So I guess there was a lot of hype that day coming out. And it was We Love Comics. Actually, I was watching his video on my drive home from work on Wednesday 2 weeks ago, and he was like, "Hey, New Comic Book Wednesday, go pick up these books because they're gonna, there's potential with them." So I did. I went and stopped in, and I found a couple, and I'm really glad he did, because otherwise I probably wouldn't have thought about it. So I got 2 copies of Rick and Morty The Vindicators. This is cover A. People are saying it's the first appearance of Pickle Rick. Okay. And I got 2 more copies of cover B. So this one, like, cover B doesn't have Pickle Rick on it, but this one does. Cover A has him right there, sitting on the Ghost Train guy's shoulder. I hope you can see that. I noticed my camera's been kind of acting weird with zooming. I think I might need to clean the lens. I picked up the Oblivion song. It's on my to-read list. I still have to read this. I'm currently catching up on... I've been reading a lot of Vampirilla lately. And so yeah, this is next. Well, at least when I take a break from Vampirilla, I'll read this. Super cool. Robert Kirkman obviously does no wrong with Image, so I'm excited to see how that turns out. And then this might be the first Spider-Man I've ever picked up off a shelf. I don't read Spider-Man, and I didn't even realize that there might, at the time when this came out, Amazing Spider-Man number 797. That people were waiting for this Red Goblin to appear, to show up. I had no idea. I just saw an Alex Ross cover, like it's obviously Alex Ross, and it was the only one left, so I snagged it. Really nice cover. Like Alex Ross, another guy who never does wrong, right? Alright. Intermission before I show you some more books. I'm actually going to be doing 2 shoutouts today, both Instagram shoutouts, both long-awaited, well, kind of. So the first one is going to be Dr. underscore Comic Keys. Dr. Comic Keys. He is a Instagram comic book collector who does some raffles. Got a really nice collection. I've got to know him over the course of the past month and a half, since I started joining his raffles, and just a good guy. And he was actually my number 100 subscriber. So when I was gonna do my 100 subscriber contest, when I was planning it, I was gonna give him a free entry because he was my 100 subscriber. But now that I'm at like 170-ish, I think I'm going to do a 200 subscriber and just make the prize pool a little bigger, or pick up some better comics for the prize pool. In which case, Dr. Comic Keys, you will still be getting a free entry into that contest. So wanted to do a little shout out for him. He's currently raffling off, obviously, one of my favorite comics, one of my big Grail comics, a Green Lantern #7 in CGC 4.5. So if that's something you're interested in, go ahead and check him out. Look, there I am. I'm in the raffle. These raffles, I haven't won any. I've won some like minis to get spots, but they're addicting and they're fun. If you have just a few dollars, like if I'm going to spend $4 on a comic book, I mean, I could spend $3 on a mini and maybe get a spot in the main, and then I could win a book. So he is my first Instagram shout out. Well deserved. Thank you, Dr. Comic Keys, for not letting me win any of your raffles, but maybe in the future I'll get lucky. Okay, so next set of books. Quite a few, not key issues, but bigger issues that I've picked up recently. I've been doing a lot of shopping on Instagram, and I've done some shopping on Facebook. eBay has been ridiculous with their $15 off 100 or 75, 15% off coupons. Like it's been nonstop. So I've been spending a little more than I probably should have on comic books lately, but I've gotten some great deals. I usually don't purchase comics without knowing I'm getting a good deal. So firstly, from an Instagram seller, I picked up a copy of Justice League Dark #1. I already have a copy of this, but this one is a lot nicer. I kind of wanted a 9.8 type candidate, 9.6, 9.8 type, just in case they really do, if they do release a movie. I imagine this book will go not through the roof, but it'll gain value, and it's got my girl's a 10 on it. I can't say no to that. Next up is a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. This is the Aspen Comics exclusive, Superman Batman #8. It is the Michael Turner cover. Rest in peace, Michael Turner. I don't think I've shown this. I have before, because I originally bought a set of these. They cover A, B, and C, and I had it graded, but then I sold this cover, and I regretted it immediately. And if you don't have one of these, I haven't checked Aspen Comics in a while, but when I checked last, they did have these and I picked it up when they had some crazy like 40% off discount. So instead of paying the $90 I paid for my original set, I think I paid $30-something for this one. And this Michael Turner art is just amazing. I'll never get that Superman Batman #4, the German variant, that's numbered out of like $4.99, because I'm not going to spend $1,000 on a modern variant. But at least I have the art, so can't be too mad about that. And then, in preparation for Denver Comic-Con, I've heard that Scott Snyder is no longer going to be there, but I didn't know that when I bought this, because I went looking for a Batman #1 in hopes that I could get Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo, and Jonathan Glapian's signature on this book and have it graded. Obviously that didn't happen. Well, it might not happen if Scott Snyder's not there, because I wouldn't want to get the other 2 signatures and just miss out on the 3rd, so maybe I'll send this in to somebody, or just keep it the way it is. Either way, it's a Batman #1 from New 52, first print. They've gone down in value, so if you've been waiting on picking one of these up, now's a good time, because they are they used to be like $50 to $100, and now they're sub 50. So grab one of these. I'll Instagram as well, so deals to be had on Instagram. Alright, and here we have an amazing Spider-Man 300 homage cover for Rick and Morty number 35, I believe. Yep, 35. This was a Brain Trust exclusive variant at the nerdstore.com. You can find these on eBay for like $60+, or you could just go to the nerdstore.com and they had them for $50 plus some shipping. So worth just going to the store and picking it up, unless you want to support some eBay seller and pay more. Super cool Pickle Rick cover. I thought it was awesome. Like I don't have an Amazing Spider-Man 300 anymore because I sold my copy, but it's a great suitable substitute. Alright, before I show my last 3 books, I will go ahead and do another shout out. So Eric Loretto, I typically use Josh Avery at Avery Comic Pressing because his prices are good. He does a great job, and his CGC submissions get 20% off. And he's just an overall good guy. He's kind of had a rough month, so thoughts and prayers to you, Josh Avery, if you by chance watch this. But I wanted to support some guys on Instagram and see what they have to offer as far as pressing goes. Obviously, it's a pretty common practice now. So I wanted to give this guy a chance. Eric Loretto at comicbook_pressing on Instagram, and he hooked me up with a deal for a bunch of books. I had my Amazing Spider-Man 129, New Teen Titans #2, my San Diego Comic-Con comics #2, and Vampirilla #1. I got a bunch of books pressed by him, and his turnaround time was like 3 days, and he shipped them back, and they were amazing. And he sent me text messages for every single comic with multiple, like every single defect that he could find. He had a before and after picture, and I thought that was awesome to like see his progress as he was doing these. So check him out. He does $10 each for a copper modern, $15 each for gold, silver, bronze, and then like $5 to $8 in shipping. And he can also submit to CGC, but he doesn't get the 20% off if that's something you're looking for. But great deal, great. Like if you look at his Instagram, he has before and afters of everything. And you can see here there's a name, looks like it was written in pen and gone. Bunch of great books. I think he actually has. He's got my San Diego Comic-Con comics #2 right here. So these are going to be on their way to get graded. Oh, here's my DC Comics Presents #26. That's another one that I had pressed. Genuinely good guy. I've had a couple text message conversations with him. He scares the crap out of me a couple times. Like, I don't know. He'll text you and he'll be joking like that he just destroyed your book, but really he's like, I don't know. This is a sense of humor. But so I freak out for a second, and then he sends me a picture, and he's like, "It's beautiful," and I'm like, "Yay!" But really great guy. Comicbook_pressing. His turnaround times are amazing. So give him a try. It's worth supporting everyone in our comic book community, whether it's on Instagram or YouTube. Why not? I mean, if you're gonna get it pressed, if you're gonna spend the money, give these guys a chance. I mean, if you're going to send it to CBCS or CGC, you can expect your turnaround times to skyrocket. So, I mean, it's not a mythical art. It can be practiced and learned, and you can become an expert at it, as seen by a bunch of these guys. Anyway, Now to the big books. Not really a big book. This is Dell Comics number 656. You guys know I already have a Turok number 1, the Dell Comics, or the 4-color, this is 656. I have the 4-color, oh my god, I don't remember the number. The first appearance of Turok, 464, 456, 5, yep, I'm just going to pretend like that's not happening. So I'm not going to go for a run of Turok, but I do like having the first and second appearance of Turok, Son of Stone. And this is in pretty much the same like grade-ish, like a 4.0 as my number 1. So I will probably be setting this to get pressed. I don't know if I'll get it graded, but definitely a nice little cool Golden Age book to have. And then I won an auction. I have been waiting forever to pick up a Tales of the Teen Titans number 44. I just never pulled the trigger, kept waiting and waiting and waiting, and finally this one came up for auction and I won it for $60, but it is in at least near mint condition. It does have one non-color breaking spine tick. Okay, maybe it breaks color a very little bit, but I mean, with just that one tick and a press, I would imagine I'd get a 9.6. You know, maybe I'll get lucky and I'll get a magical 9.8. But, and it's a newsstand, so I thought that was really awesome. Tales of the Teen Titans number 44, the first appearance of Dick Grayson as Nightwing, and the origin of Deathstroke. So, definitely a really cool comic to have. If they do make a Nightwing movie, like, that would be awesome. So, hopefully this sees a little bump in value. And then on Facebook the other day, I woke up and I saw a copy of New Mutants number 98, which I've never had before, mostly because by the time I was really into collecting comics, Deadpool was in production and people were freaking out about it and the prices went off the walls. So that was kind of, I wasn't going to pay that much money for a New Mutants number 98. And I found a copy, or this guy was advertising as very fine in 9.2 to 9.4. So I don't know, maybe he just doesn't know like the grading system as well, like as far as like what numbers correlate with what grade. But I looked at the pictures and he sent me a bunch of pictures and it looked awesome. With a press, this could easily be a 9.2 to 9.4. I mean, he wasn't wrong about that. Maybe even more, because most of these ticks are not color breaking. But it's a beautiful direct edition copy of New Mutants number 98, and I picked it up for. I tried asking for lower than what he was asking, but he'd already dropped the price from $250 down to $200. So you won't find that on eBay, especially in this grade. So I picked this up for $200, and this will be on its way to comic book pressing for a press before I have it shipped out to get slabbed. I bought this, and then that day they dropped the new Deadpool number 2 trailer, and I was really happy because that trailer made the movie look awesome. Get your X-Force 1s ready, guys, because it's going to go up. It's like $1.50 per book. Yeah, so look at that. Is that a Marvel Grail? Kind of a Marvel key. You don't see those in my videos very often. And then, boom! Look at this guy. Look at that guy. I didn't even know they had like protective cases for these Funko Pops. Like, this is a legit hard case. It's like, I guess would be the same as putting a comic book in Mylar. Hard to find, and I paid way more than I should have for a toy, but this will be displayed with my Green Lantern number 7 once I get my new place, and I'm excited. So this is Sinestro from the Green Lantern movie. Mark Strong, in my opinion, was the best part of that movie, and I'm excited to have this little guy. Other than that, I think that's it. So don't forget Dr. Comic Keys and comic book pressing. I will make sure I put the their details, their links in the description below. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. Because once we hit that 200, I'm thinking of